Nerves, jitters, butterflies. Nah, not in the California. There was no fear on Wednesday night. I said have no fear. We didn't in the second half. And there shouldn't be any fear on Sunday's final as well because I will be giving you my prediction and our lineups as well. Welcome to another episode of I don't know why we call it chit and chat. It should be chip and cheen chat. But that's change.
I gave you.
I'm speaking. It's my show.
I gave you that.
I'm speaking on my show. My show. Not yours today. This ain't phone in. I don't interrupt you on phone in. I don't even come on phone in. I don't even put a comment in on phone in because I let you be. I'll give you some shanti. But this is me and Chip. Me and Gene. Sorry. I'm always hosting these shows on the Friday. He's still finding his way. He's integrating like Klopp did with the Fabinho, Ox in the early years of 2018, 2019. And Gene is still, I'm still guiding him through the ropes. But Gene, how's it going, Maka? You okay? It's been quite an eventful week on the field and off the field on podcasts as well. But hey, here we are, all four of us on a Friday night. How's it going?
Yeah, man, I'm over the moon, obviously, so far, especially with the performance on Wednesday, man. We can't really complain. Brilliant performance, 3 points. That second half just rejuvenated me, and I think all the fan base, especially with the injuries that have come out, and especially with Linda's interview today. I know he's come out, and we'll speak about it a lot more in terms of the injuries and the timescales as well with some of them. But all in all, I'm a happy chappy, and looks like a few of our players are coming back. Maybe one of them might start, as you've called that. One of them might start on Sunday, but I can't really complain. I think right now is onwards and upwards.
Asim, I think this is your. Is it your official debut on Chippendale, or is it you? I know you've come in periodically through the car and drive through when you were at McDonald's last week.
I think when me, you, Gene, and Moby was in it as well.
Yes. Okay, you're right.
But as ever, it's a pleasure receiving an official invite from Chip and Dale, or what you call these guys. This is every week you promote yourself, you brand yourself as something different. I gave you that name, Chip and Cheen. I thought it worked, but you didn't want it.
It does, but someone said Chip and Dale, so that works too. It's whatever the comments and the people on the in the comments want it to be, but it's all good. But no, it's great to have you here, Asim and Sarib. I think these 2 weeks in a row, you're getting definitely on my good side. Me and you have definitely gone back and forth in the last 2 weeks. Loads of arguments, lots of back and forth, a lot of me apologizing to you. You apologize anyway. I think apologize your middle name, to be honest. Anyway, it's always a pleasure to have you, Sarib, in the chat. You held it. And I want to say, first of all, I want to apologize to you because on Wednesday I was supposed to be on the show with you, but I couldn't make it for one reason or another. And you held the fort really, really well. And I'm so impressed. And you're not here to impress me, but in the comments, you were engaging with everyone. And that's what it's all about, especially when you're on your own. So big up to Sarib. You did something that Gene will never do, is host a show. And not only host, but be on your own as well. So well done. But Sarib, how are you today?
Obviously not too bad. I'm just looking forward to Sunday, man. It's going to be intense.
And you're going to your first cup final, I believe, Sarib.
First cup final, first game of the season. I'm so pumped, I'm so pumped. I've been waiting for this. And I'm a student. You guys know I live off a budget, right? I have to go to this game. I said I'm going to this game, and going to this game, I am Wembley. I will be in your walls and lift the cup.
And Sarib, there's always been a little bit of controversy with your name, because people sometimes say that you're an Arsenal fan, and we dispel that. And but you're fucking wearing blue. Why are you wearing blue today of all days?
Oh no, I didn't even realize.
Well, he's got a shirt in the back.
No, he's wearing blue though.
No, because
he's one of those people, and if he does it, I swear, Chupera for Tina and Chupera for Asim. If he buys one of those half and half scarves, you two are both getting it.
Listen to me. I buy it, but not to wear. I buy it to know what game I went to. I have it. I have all the games I went to in like half and half scarves. I do.
Listen, you know,
you ain't buying a half and half scarf.
I'm taking it back off here. So
you actually buy half and half scarves?
No, not to like wear, to like just look at there.
Oh my God, boys,
frame your ticket. Nothing of memorabilia.
Boys, pull it out, please. Do not buy half and half scarves, sorry. Please do not buy half and half scarves.
If you buy a half scarf, buy a helmet as well.
Please don't.
Guys, I'm joking. I will be in that top on Sunday.
You know,
I will be in that shirt.
Sarib can't
Listen,
stay away. You
Wait,
can't
Rob,
stay away.
Master, please do not get those. Have you seen those shirts that those Korean fans wear? They got half Wolves, half
Yeah,
Spurs
Wolves,
shirt,
yeah.
and they cut it in half. Don't do that, please, on Sunday. Half Chelsea, half Liverpool, please.
No, Sarib, bless you.
Gine, where's he sitting? Is he sitting in the Liverpool end or is he sitting in the middle?
It's Liverpool versus Chelsea, not Liverpool versus Arsenal.
No, bless him. He can't stay away from controversy. If he's not an Arsenal
telling you,
fan,
man.
he's wearing Chelsea scarves.
Please. But listen, guys,
Wait at this point.
enough of the jokes. Asim, come on, please, be nice. Lou and recap. Asim, you were at the game. Crop cam was in full effect. HDR, 4K, 8K. I believe you've got an 8K investment now coming through. But anyway, big up to you. Great images and videos that you sent. Fantastic. But Luton game first half, voice notes popping all over. We were in that group chat. It was getting ugly at one stage. Missed a hatful of chances.
Yeah.
And we should say Luis Diaz missed a hatful of chances. It was pretty unforgiving for him that first half. But how do you think the game went first half? And then just a quick recap on how we absolutely blitzed him second half. And big up to the crowd at second half as well. It sounded amazing off the on the telly, but God knows how it felt like in the stadium.
Oh, it was good. Just I think about the crowd. Every match or big match. Well, Jurgen's been compared it to the Barcelona game, so we're allowed to compare it to the Barcelona game as well. He broke his promise, not discuss it, so we can break our promise as well. But there was a moment, even like the Arsenal game, where Arteta has a go at Klopp, and the crowd goes absolutely wild. So there's a turning point in that second half. I think we were appealing for a handball, went to VAR, and the crowd felt it was it was a handball. But as you know, at Anfield, you don't get the big screen, so you have to go by just the decision. But there was a feeling of that we were hard done by, and it riled up the crowd. And we didn't want Wednesday night to be the defining moment in the wrong way, where City, once you give the advantage to City, especially against a side like Luton, because let's forget about our injuries. The only guys who are talking about our injuries is Liverpool fans. Nobody would have bought a sob story from us on Wednesday night if we dropped points. Nobody was feeling sorry for us. But I thought, Liverpool started really well, as well as they could have. We could have been 2 up within 5 to 10 minutes. And as you say, Luis Diaz was, sort of culprit on missing the chances. But I'm sure we'll discuss your name tonight is Lucho Chip, and I think we're going to have a bit of a segment on him today later on. But generally speaking, if you want my thoughts about how Liverpool started, I thought they started really well. I thought Kelleher's distribution was decent first on, and I think the instructions for him were to get it up. This man-to-man marking from Luton was obviously evident. Our strikers, were coming on the halfway line. Diaz was taking advantage in the space behind and coming in with those horizontal runs. And we nearly got in. Well, we did get in, and we could have been 2-0 up, and it could have been a different night. But we do give teams, whether we're Anfield or the away ground, a chance. And Liverpool have been the comebacks kings this season. And we were once again on Wednesday night. It was brilliant.
Gene, coming on to the first half, we did everything right but score. Diaz did everything right but score. The first sort of minute and a half, 2 minutes, that clearance, he threw on, he fluffs his lines. I totally agree with it that he should have done much, much better. Should have got a shot off at least. And then the second chance, the third chance, the fourth chance. Then he thought, the ball that Wataru Hendo played him in, he thought, he's not going to be his night. It's not going to be Liverpool's night. We've been there before. But second half, we came out all guns blazing. As soon as the first one went in, the Van Dijk header. And what a header. Captain's example, something that we were lacking last season, being led by the leader. And there's no disrespect to Jordan Henderson. It's just, Father Ted time sort of came in on all the midfield last season. But Virgil scores, gets the ball back and says, listen, we've got a job to do here. Goes back to the centre circle, puts the ball on the spot, let Luton kick off. The second comes quickly, in quick succession. McAllister again at the heart of things. Second assist of the game. Cody Gakpo, Sarib's gunman, scores. Then Lucho gets his goal. And then we see the fourth goal. Oh, Harvey Elliott score as well. How do you think the second half went? And did the crowd did they need to lift themselves as well second half?
Of the second half, on a scale of 1 to 10, the way we played and how the crowd played, let's say, honestly, it was like 9 out of 10. The performance from the boys was unbelievable. The crowd for 10 minutes in that game, it was electrifying. It was honestly, it was special. And I've been lucky to have been to many games and experienced many European nights, even many let's say in terms of big games at Anfield. That was up there in terms of noise. 10 minutes of just mayhem football. And honestly, you can't knock the boys. The way they came out in the second half, bar the first 4 to 5 minutes, it was just basically attack. And that's what we did. And you got to give a lot of credit to a lot of players out there. McAllister, you can just feel how much they wanted to win that game. Harvey Elliott in the first half, I know he played that ball for Diaz. I wanted more for him. What a second half performance. Bradley, honestly, we have a world beater in our ranks. In Connor Bradley, Virgil van Dijk, man. If anybody has anything to say about him, he is by far the best defender in the world.
Gene, is he the best defender you've ever seen in your lifetime?
100.
Wow.
He's the best defender I've seen. I've not seen a defender that possesses everything. This guy possesses everything. He oozes class. Back then, football was different. People used to defend in fours. Now, it's high risk defending. We sat on the halfway line with two centre backs and saying, bring it on. Yes, people will argue there's VAR and maybe a bit slightly easier, you can get caught offside. But no, what this guy possesses is everything. On the ball, he's just a joy to watch. Which defender can play 60-yard balls like he's playing a back pass to the goalkeeper? He's been that good. And fair play to Liverpool in that second half, Avi. And the crowd, honestly, it was a joy to be amongst that. And like Asim mentioned, Klopp mentioned it was some of these players, it's their Barcelona because they weren't there, and most of these players didn't play that game. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think Rob Edwards alluded to it as well. He goes, Anfield second half I enjoyed it. And he's Luton's manager, and he's pretty much saying that, listen, I enjoyed that because that was another level. Talking about decibels and talking about putting their volumes up high. Sarib, me and you were going at it at halftime. Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo. Just give me a brief sort of description of how you felt Luis Diaz did overall second half, and what were you thinking at halftime?
Look, with Luis Diaz, I know we have come on the show and we've said he's not had the greatest of seasons, and that's the reality. His performances this season as a whole, maybe not this year necessarily, but as a whole from September, August to now, they have not been to the levels that we would expect from Luis Diaz. I get that he's had a long-term injury. I get that his father, he's had family troubles and all of this, but Avi, he's been available for 10 months, and you say there's notable games, but I don't remember Luis Diaz taking the game from a scruff of the neck like he did against Villarreal, like he did against Crystal Palace early last season. I haven't seen that from him much this season, and that's what my frustration is with him, because he is so capable, such a capable footballer, one of the most direct wingers that in probably Europe when he's on it. He's got the ability to beat a man left, right, shimmy, can go on the inside, can go on the outside. I don't know why he's not doing it enough. But in the game,
do you not feel that he's getting into the box a lot more than he did?
Yeah, absolutely. He's playing a lot more closer to goal now because Klopp has identified a problem that he can't currently go on the outside, so he's kind of maybe shifted him more centrally, and you can see that he's being molded into this inside forward, and that will come with time. I'm telling you, it will come with time. Luis Diaz is still yet to complete one full season at Liverpool. If you look at him, he came in January of 22. That was half a season. Then he was injured last season, didn't really get many games, and now this is his first proper full season as a Liverpool starting player. And that's why I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But we also have to sit here and talk about performances when they're not playing well. Also, in hindsight, talk about when they're playing well. And I thought Luis Diaz in that first half, things were going for him. Avi, you are absolutely correct. Everything was going for Luis Diaz. And it had to be him because he was the one with the pace. He was the one with the energy. He was one with the directness that none of our forwards currently possess. No Nunez, no Salah. Elliott is more of a midfielder. Gakpo is, again, he's more like a midfielder type of forward. Luis Diaz.
You preferred Gakpo on the left, though, haven't you? You've said, I want Gakpo on the left.
Yes, because Luis Diaz's form hasn't been great, and Cody Gakpo has come out and said he wants to play as a left winger, and his best performances I've seen has been as a left winger. Maybe not in Liverpool's team, but in the past. But I said, give Cody Gakpo a run of games, then we can make a fair assessment on how he is as a left winger, because we say he's not quick enough, he's not direct enough, he hasn't got the ability going backwards, but we've not seen it enough, Avi, to make a judgment. And that's why I've been screaming out.
Then surely surely that tells you that Jurgen doesn't trust him on the left.
Absolutely, and he's only been at the club for 13 months, Avi, and it's very hard for a player. This is even Gakpo. He's not completed one season at Liverpool. This is his first proper season at Liverpool, and he's been in and out of the team, playing right midfield, left midfield, striker. It's very hard for players to build any sort of consistency when they're playing scattered, or when they're playing James Milner-Rose all over the pitch. He is clearly a player of quality, and you can see it. You saw against Luton, the goal he scored was really, really good. He was in the right position, the right time. He gets.
Well, yeah, my Dadi would score that, and she's not even no longer here with us.
But he gets in those
positions, man. Come on.
He gets in those positions that I've not seen Luis Diaz get into. We can rate this season, and that's why I've been saying, why doesn't Gakpo get an opportunity? And this is not me taking anything away from Luis Diaz, because players need to be played into form. But if a player is out of form, you also need to look at the other side of the scale and say maybe players on the bench can make an impact, also deserve a chance. And that's what I've been saying.
A comment here, Asim, fans bash Diaz, but his 10 goals would have him second top goal scorer at Arsenal, who are apparently the best team in Europe, according to some. And I come to Asim here because Asim sort of ridiculed me on Monday's show, saying that, oh, come on, Abby, Arsenal are going to walk over at their garage or whatever stadium they play at Porto. I said, no, it's going to be a tough game, Asim. You actually thought Arsenal were going to walk over, but they did lose. And deservedly, they weren't great, Arsenal, on Wednesday. But are we a little bit harsh, Asim, on Diaz? Because since the turn of the year, his numbers have improved. The assists are coming. I think he's got 6 since 2024, and he's got 3 assists. 3 assists since the turn of the year. The numbers are improving, and that's all we want, isn't it, for a forward, especially on the left-hand side? Yeah,
100%. Look, you have to caveat everything with the Diaz's circumstances, the terrible circumstance of his father getting kidnapped, obviously his injuries as well before that. You have to provide context. I know some of us in this building don't like providing context when it comes to sort of Arsenal and Diaz, but you have to provide a bit of perspective. And I've always, when I've sort of been critical of Diaz, I've not been really critical of his output, because I knew that was going to come as long as you get into those positions, and he was getting into those positions. And if you actually take a step back, he's a very decent finisher. You've been sort of wanting him in a more central role. We saw that header against the equalizer against Luton away. That was a brilliant sort of header. And that's the run that he needs to make, the Sadio Mane run, type of run, I should say, from wide positions to central positions. And when I've been critical of Diaz is the ability to stand up a marker, because you saw today, Pep Lijnders talking about how our, sort of general play is all about separation in wide areas, creating those 1v1 situations. And when we can, then it's down to your sort of wingers or inside forwards to make sure they take on those type of players. And I'm not even expecting Diaz to take on Kyle Walker, those sort of right backs who have got really good recovery pace. I've seen him struggle at times to go on the outside. It's weird, Avi, because he's still got that ball carrying ability from central positions where he can go either way. Maybe when he's in rhythm, or in sort of, he's got a run on the defenders in central or midfielders, in central areas, he's got the run on you. But when you're standing up someone and then need to go, maybe I'm comparing him to Sadio Mane, but that's the level, and that's the world-class level, because if you don't cut it for 6 months, a side like Liverpool, you might not be in the side again for another 18 months, or you might have to get moved on. This is the sort of Premier League. This is the level. And I know Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp gets accused of being too loyal to his players and this and that. But at the moment, we've called our best top 5 one of the best, or if not the best, as a collective in the world. And, but I've always praised him when it comes to his overall work rate. And you have to mention that, because you have to remain consistent. And I tweeted today, if you mention the work rate of Nunes, mention the box-to-box role for Szoboszlai, then you have to mention the work rate and the type of role Diaz has. It's all having a balancing act. Szoboszlai plays a balancing act between Trent and Salah. And if your Salah's going to be the inside forward, a second striker playing him on the inside, then you have to have someone who plays a bit of a unsung hero type of role. And Sadio Mane did it as well. He rolled up his sleeves. He could track the winger, the fullback a lot better than Salah did. But 17 duels on Wednesday night, 16 duels the day before, 33 duels Luis Diaz has been involved in over the last 2 games. That is absolutely mind-boggling.
That's one
you
thing.
have to mention this.
The
output is coming. and then the work rate will always stay there.
What are you harping on about?
No, 1 second, Asim. You've just mentioned everything about Diaz, but then you got to keep the same energy, because when it concerns Darwin Núñez, 1 second, when it concerns Darwin Núñez and Darwin Núñez is missing chances, we have to call it out. My issue with Diaz, and I had to go, Avi, me and Avi had an argument with Diaz, was, look, before that game, him and Gakpo were our two forwards who were going into this game. They were huge for us, and it was pivotal that these two players perform on that day. And I can understand why some fans, 1 second, I can understand why some fans at halftime were having a go at Luis Diaz. When you're the main man, because he was arguably one of our main men in this game, he had to, he missed 3 absolute sitters. So you can understand that there's going to be scrutiny there. So I can understand why there was frustration amongst.
I was frustrated at him.
There's frustration and then there's aggression. He was saying, Kasma is fucking shit. Like, what's that about? I said, Shandira, cool, wait till second half and wait till full time. I'll be on that same train full time.
Shine Bai's in the building as well.
Right, look, Avi, when I say Avi, the guys missed 3 chances. Liverpool's losing 1-0 at half time. I'm peed off. Obviously, I'm emotional. I'm gonna come up with stuff that flipping because I want to win the game. There's a title on the line here, mate. So yes, I get emotional. I say things at that minute. Of course, I am, because I expected more from him. I expected him to at least put 2 of them chances away, because they were absolute sitters. And I'm the one that, when it concerns that, I keep the one thing with me, Avi, is I won't. If I keep the energy for one player, I will have the same energy for another player. When it comes to Darwin Núñez, when he was missing chances, I went to town on him. I will do the same with Diaz. I won't pick and choose, he's all right and he's not. Yes, I accepted. He was a threat. Yes, accepted. Like Asim said, he does give us a lot of work rate. But let's not beat around the bush. Look, I don't want to turn this into a Luis Diaz show here. But to face the fact that he's actually, in terms of this season, I don't think Luis Diaz personally has been up to scratch. And that's my opinion of him. And I know a load of people agree with me on my opinion, because we expect more from our left winger. We expect more output from our left winger. Accepted that over the last month and a half, you know what? He's done decent. His numbers have improved. Yeah, fair.
But Gene, do you agree that having Robertson, Gomez, Tsimikas, that's affected his game as well, being on that left-hand side?
I'm not having Robbo on that left. I can accept not having Robbo on that left-hand side probably has hampered him, because he likes to come inside. There's not an overlapping run. There's no overlap ball that he's got to play to Robbo. Yes, accepted. But Avi, I'm sorry, but I will not accept. One thing I will not accept is your left winger not being able to beat the man.
Yeah.
And nobody can come to me today and say to me, you know what? They've seen Luis Diaz beat a man on the outside, even beat the man on the inside.
For his goal, he did. For his goal, he did. He turned Mengi inside out. I mean, the goal for the third goal. He turned his defender on his house.
The guy was looking at Robbo to see if he's going to pass to Robbo.
Come on, that's a completely different situation.
I rest my case. I actually rest my case. Because if that's what Avi is going to use today in terms of beating his...
I'm not using that. But will you agree that he was the constant threat? He was creating as much as he could on that first half.
I can accept. Look,
you're trying to interpret that you've got to beat a man to create. You don't need to beat a man to create. Salah, when he creates, he's been creating as a deep line playmaker this season. The Núñez 2 passes, he didn't beat a man for Newcastle for the 2 assists for Núñez.
When you're such a creator at that level, you don't need to beat a man. Salah has beaten a man all his career, but obviously he's lost a yard of pace. Some would say he's lost 2 yards of pace, but he's still Salah. Over the sort of his career, he has got, this happens to every great player, where they lose their legs and they become an absolute crazy, creator. Look at Harry Kane. He's become deeper and deeper and deeper, because they know what kind of ball. Great strikers, great players know what kind of ball that they need. And they've got an eye for a pass as well as an eye for a goal. So, Salah's the ultimate creator as well as the ultimate output giver. What's the word? The ultimate goal scorer for Liverpool as well. So you can't really compare him to Salah. But with Diaz, Avi, I think... Look, I'm going to judge him at the end of the season.
I don't want to look.
I have a question for you. I know it's your show, Gene. You can butt in when you want, but don't always feel that you can butt in when I'm speaking. Asim, if Diaz ends the season with 15 goals, 7 assists, is that a good return from the left?
Of course it is.
But Avi, this is not this is performance analysis, and he's not performed all the season, and that's the reality.
You're saying at all this season, like I agree with context. When you say context, that's fine. I will agree with that. You said last 10 months, but if you're telling me this season he hasn't performed whatsoever. Sarib, that's a wild take.
No, this is what you do. You take.
I know you're the wild card of the channel, but that's a wild take.
Listen to me. Listen. I cannot remember one game this season where Diaz has put his balls on the table and is like, you know what? I'm going to take this game. Forget Salah, forget Nunes. I'm going to take. I can't think of one game you're going to say, oh, he scored against Bournemouth. He scored against Chelsea on the opening day. Avi, these games were in August. We're in February. Oh, he scored a goal against Fulham.
So the turn of the year since 2024. Since January, he's done nothing.
Yeah,
he's done nothing.
I said his numbers have improved.
No, he's done nothing in terms of performance.
I analyze performance, not stats. I look at the overall thing. His stats may look better. He's got 10 goals or whatever he's got this season, but his performances, Avi, this season have not been more than a 6 out of 10 in any game that I can remember. There's no game where I've think Luis Diaz. Wow.
Okay. No. It's not a comparison. It's not a comparison. It's not a comparison.
You move just to have a go at him.
I am listening. No. I am listening to Sarib. Sarib says a 6 out of 10. That's fine. That's his opinion. I'm not going to argue that. What's your opinion on Gakpo? Give me a rating out of 10 for Gakpo.
I think he'd be exactly the same, but I'm also going to supply context here.
He's played safe there. You know what he's done there.
I'm also going to supply context with Gakpo's not had a run in the team. He's played so many different positions. And like I say to you, if he had a run of games and played the same way, I will hold my hands up and say, fair enough. But when you're getting spread around to the right, to the left, centrally, centre midfielder, it's very hard for players to build consistency. Luis Diaz has virtually been the starting left winger from August, and it's now February, Avi. Gakpo has not had a run in the team at a consistent basis. He's in and out of the team every single week. And players need games to find form and consistency. Look at Endo. Look at Tsimikas. Look at Kanate when he comes into the team. Look at.
There's the reason Gakpo's not getting the run of games, Sarib. He's not showing enough in training them. There's a reason your boy's not getting selected in front of a Diaz, in front of a Jota in the night.
And I really don't. And sometimes I really don't understand why, because sometimes our forwards put on absolute shitters and they cover up with a goal. And I'm like, why doesn't this guy get into the team?
I think you've been really, really harsh. The simple fact that Cody Gakpo does not start in our first team when everybody is fit because he's simply not good enough to start.
And what is your
that is the simple truth.
What is your judgment on that? I'm going to ask. What is
because where he plays, if you're playing aside, probably playing a flat back five at Anfield, he can do a job against most teams. Don't get me wrong. But on the big day, that's the acid test. The acid test is on the big day, he doesn't defend it well enough. His pressing is not is good enough compared to Diaz. His cover shadowing is not good enough compared to Diaz. His screening is not compared to his Diaz. Off the ball intelligence and awareness is not good enough in terms compared to Diaz. We have to provide context. So I've just told you, absolutely. Salah is the guy that we have to provide. If we need to make someone sort of cheat in inverted commas in transition, it's Salah. But the other guy on the other end needs to defend because it's absolutely all about a balancing act. If we've got Salah and Trent on the right-hand side, we need Szoboszlai to play that box-to-box role. We can't play with 11 attackers waiting for someone to pass the ball to him. It just doesn't happen. But the fact that he's a really good finisher, he's a really smart player, and I prefer him in that false 9 position. I prefer him there. But when you're playing on the left-hand side on the big day, I question his sort of not attitude, but his ability just to go the other way. And that's not his fault. That's not his profile. It's not. But we need players. And especially when you consider the lack of destroyer, even though we know, what the sort of context behind that is. Everybody has been talking about we needed a natural destroyer. But what Liverpool have done is made sure to compensate for a lack of destroyer is sort of increase in legs. And Diaz supplies that and contributes to that, just like Curtis Jones does, just like Szoboszlai does. So you can't just have some players just waiting for the ball to bang it in the back of the net. It just doesn't work like that.
Absolutely agree with. I agree with everything Asim just said there. Absolutely, you hit the nail on the head there, Asim, and I don't disagree with you at all. Gakpo, what Diaz has in energy and skill, Gakpo lacks, and that's fine. They both have flaws to each other's games, and they're very, very different. And it's very hard to find a space for both of them in the same team when they both occupy the same position. So Klopp needs to find a way where he can get Gakpo and Diaz and Nunes and Salah into the same team. It's very difficult to do that. We've got 5 attackers. Very, very difficult.
You have to be understanding as well and understand football as well. We can only play with 3. You
I
can't.
get it. I know.
It's never
What
worked.
somebody saying? What somebody saying?
Intermission karo. You know, in like Indian films, intermission.
Are we gonna get a bit of entertainment?
Let's have a breather because I've got to read out some comments. Sarib, Sarib, we're gonna come to you.
Avi's gonna give sing us a song. Go on.
No. Intermission, okay. Selection, big ups. You know, big up selection. And my boy always comes through the super chat. Need all the money I can get right now. Stocks are down. Selection, Diaz game isn't beating his man in a stand-up start position. It's normally through ball carrying from deep. He's not a 1v1 type winger like some think. Joshua Murray, I'll put it out there. If someone gives us 65 million for Diaz, do you sell? Gene?
Oh yeah, I'm never. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a fan of this type of stuff. But that's just the way I am. But if you said to me, we're selling him for 65 million, I'm buying Rafael Leao, I'll drive him to the airport tomorrow.
Rafael Leao?
Yes, 100%. 100%, mate. 100%.
Asim?
No doubt. Tomorrow, mate, I'll do it.
I think Rafael Leao needs. I think Rafael Leao needs a lot of coaching, and who better to coach him than Xabi Alonso next season?
He's better numbers too.
You're about to say Klopp there. You forgot.
Sorry,
you were about to say Jurgen Klopp there, innit?
I was. But Avi, I really like him as well. If you're talking about guys who can, separate fullbacks and take them on down the line or on the inside and have output, yes, I'm a bit concerned of him sort of rolling his sleeves up. But when you talk about Salah leaving, in the next year or two, whatever, you have to replace those numbers. And Rafael Leao is one of those guys who can maybe not take the burden on, but with a few more players, most certainly.
Big shout. Sarib, you're selling for 40. I know your thoughts.
No, I'm very reactionary. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you, and I think most Liverpool fans are the same way.
We found out on Wednesday night.
Me and Chino are exactly the same. When players play really shit, we really get pissed off, and that's fine. That's fine because we want to win. We want to win, and maybe the way you deal with that is completely different to the way I do it. If I see a player playing bad, I want to get behind him. But if I keep seeing him do the wrong things, I'm going to be like, "What are you doing? Come on!" It's going to frustrate me, and that's why I've been critical of Nunes, critical of Diaz, and I'll keep it consistent with anyone that plays poor. Would I sell Luis Diaz tomorrow? If a decent offer came for 65 million, I would, because I don't think he can get any better than this. I think this is him right now, and I don't see it changing, especially if Klopp stayed in the summer, maybe this conversation will be different. But now I know Alonso may come in, the style of play that he likes to play, he might implement that into Liverpool's team. I don't see where Diaz fits into that, and that's just one aspect of it. But I don't think he's done any justice this season based on his performances. So if he's not a Liverpool player in August, will I be shocked? Not really. But I guess time will really tell.
The only time that I'll replace Diaz is if we get a clear run at Kvaratskhelia. That's the only player that I think could come in and do a better job than Diaz. Otherwise, Rafael Leao's a wild shout. Let me tell you that. This season, he's a patchy player. Very patchy player. But I get it, he's young.
You're talking about this season. What's Kvaratskhelia done this season?
Kvaratskhelia numbers are still decent. Man,
nothing. He didn't score for 5 months.
Yeah, he gets doubled up on every game 5 months. But look at his numbers. Let's look at his numbers. Bring his numbers up. Oh yeah, he's still been effective. He's still been very effective. Still been very effective.
No, you're going to keep shouting at each other, but you haven't even told the comments to like and subscribe to the channel, have you?
Yeah, I'll do that in my own time. I'll do that in my own time. It's my show.
This show has got his record numbers. Must be
it's time to do it.
Sata Disha Saha Bomik. It's because other channels aren't on today, Asim, please. Okay. Sata Disha Saha Bomik. Despite poor finishing, Diaz was the only constant threat last game, and he will be the same behind Chelsea defense when we come to the big Wembley pitch. Gakpo just not aggressive enough.
Okay. Before
let me read that comments. Bailey 19 BNR link up at Wembley fan cams. I know these three will be there. Fam cams, Klopp cams, Asim cams definitely will be there.
Avi, question for you.
Tamizi, this is my boy from Brunei. Salam and good morning, gentlemen. First trophy in the bag on Sunday. Inshallah, you never walk alone. Tamizi 2026. Tamizi, if you can get your backside over to the Copa America, California, Colombia, Brazil, let's make it.
A question for you.
One last thing from Jono. Okay. Who does Gina want? I think we've talked about this. Who he wants. Gina, you go with the stats.
Kvaratskhelia, 32 appearances. Guess how many goals?
7.
4, 5.
6. Not bad. How many assists? 3.
He's worse than Luis Diaz.
How many has Rafa Leao got this season?
He's
No,
looking
no,
at
just do it. Just do it.
Whilst Gene's checking,
Go on,
is
Asim.
Cody Gakpo more of a Pep Linders / Xabi Alonso type of player than a Jurgen Klopp type of player?
I think he can do the Wirtz role that he does at Leverkusen for Alonso. I think he can do that for us at Liverpool. Look, I have always said Cody Gakpo is a special footballer, and Gina rolled his eyes a few weeks back. I think he can be a Dennis Bergkamp for us, and Dennis Bergkamp was an elite footballer. We know that he was an elite number 10 for Arsenal. I think Gakpo has all the tools. It's just bringing it all together. Rafael Leao's number was that?
Rafael Leao's got 7 goals, 7 assists in all competitions. Like I was comparing.
How many games?
Wait, all right, 22, 20, 24.
It's not a lot of difference in terms of output this season then.
30 games in total.
Listen, if Ali A says Kivresh Leao over Leao, that's good enough for me. But listen,
I like him.
Staying on track, Gene, Cody Gakpo. Listen, you can't argue with his goal scoring record, 11 in 33, being a bit part player. He hasn't started as many as we had hoped, but does he make Salah, Nunes are fit? Just presume that they're fit. I know Joyce has dropped a little tweet or a headline today that those three still remain doubts. That's Szoboszlai, Nunes, and Salah. But if they were fit, Jota was fit, does Gakpo deserve to start the final because of his previous run in the League Cup in the League Cups?
Avi, I want to win the competition. I go with the best team. It's a final at Wembley. I would always play my best team, and I would go. If they're all playing Gakpo's fifth choice, for me personally, anyway, I would always go Nunes, Salah, and I'd go Diaz because he plays on the left hand side. We don't really have a proper left winger, bar Diaz. Whereas in terms of number 9s, you can play the likes of Gakpo, Jota, Nunes in that position. Whereas on the left hand side, we really, in terms of what somebody brings, it's only one player that you can, you'd always back to play in that position. That's Luis Diaz. So I'd always go Diaz, Nunes, and Salah.
Sarib, would you give Gakpo the nod, irrespective of whether they were fit or not? Would you start him in the final?
No. If I'm being honest, no. I'd go with,
even though he scored through the rounds, pivotal player in the League Cup run.
I think when you're playing in a final, especially, I think you got to play your best team. And generally, at this moment in time, Gakpo is not in Liverpool's best 11. Even though
Klopp did it with Kelleher.
I think it's easier to change a goalkeeper than to change an attacker in the team, because it ruins the whole flow. Whereas a keeper, he's very singular. He's in his own box, in his own area. He doesn't rely on anyone but himself. Whereas
presence.
No, I get that.
I think that's I think that's a big shout. Is it more? Do you think that there's more disruption if you change a forward Asim, or if you change a goalkeeper? If you change an Alisson for a Kelleher?
It's a debate to be had. I'll be honest.
It depends on the
circumstance.
So I asked him the question, irrespective of whether the players are fit, the forwards are fit, Jota was fit, Salah was fit, Szoboszlai was, Nunes was fit. Because of Gakpo's run through the tournament, right? I think he's got 4 in 5. Does he deserve to start in the final? And Sarib's comment was, no, I think I'll go with my best forward line. It's easy to change a goalkeeper of Alisson's ilk for Kelleher. And I was like, okay, let me ask Asim the question.
It's a difficult one. If they were all fit, Avi, I think he plays the best forwards. There's maybe like a couple of positions where he says, look, this is your cup competition. And he did it with Kelleher a few years ago as well. He played him the cup finals. And he came up with trumps. But I think forwards are a different breed. Generally speaking, on the big day, those are the guys who are going to win you the match, isn't it? And at the end of the day, the hardest job in football is to bang it in the onion bag. And I think on the big day, if everyone's fit, you'd see the likes of Nunes and Jota playing ahead of Gakpo. But it's all been about a collective effort, Avi, all season, where the manager has been making really, really bold substitutions. Not because he wants to, it's because he's got the quality on the bench. And that might be the deciding factor come Sunday. I know we'll come to the cup final and we'll be picking the team shortly. and trying out our new feature where we've got a bit of a website in the background. If it all cuts off, you know what happened. I fucked it up. But I mean, yeah, it might be a deciding factor where come 60 minutes, come 70 minutes, Pochettino might have a few options, more options, as opposed to Liverpool's bench.
Gene, is this a dangerous game purely the fact because Chelsea are coming into this final with nothing to lose as such? We're fighting on all four fronts. Jurgen's last season, we want to make sure that we collect trophies this season, but the first one is always like the marker, and that will propel us to have this magnificent end to the season, the momentum. Are Chelsea going to be a dangerous opposition because of that?
Well, Chelsea are always a dangerous opposition. If you look at the side and you look at the players that they've got, Poch, it seems like Poch has finally found a way of playing, a formation that sort of works. We've seen that since the game against us guys. We've seen over the last few games, they've won a few. They did really, really well against Chelsea, against City. So, he's actually got them playing a certain way, which works. Look, with Liverpool, I know, Man City play a completely different way to Liverpool. And with the players that we've got out, it's going to be a tough game, regardless of, you look at past seasons, they've always given us a game. I know at Anfield, we smacked them up. But it's a final. It'll still be a tough game. Chelsea have got something to prove. We know where they are in terms of the league. So a trophy for them would be a massive statement this season. A lot of their players have never won anything with Chelsea. So it's a brand new side. Pochettino, a trophy under his belt with the new players would be it's a big achievement. And up against this Liverpool side. But for us, Avi, it would be massive. Get a trophy with the players that we've had playing over the last few weeks, and for these players to come trumps on Sunday would be a massive boost to take us forward, because we know what we're fighting on. We're fighting on all four fronts, and it's the like Asim mentioned, we've had there's so many instances this season where we've needed our, let's say, not fringe players but the squad players to come in and perform. And how many times have we sat here and said, they've come up, they've come and played their socks off and performed when we needed them to perform. So that's you got to give all these players a lot of credit. And Sunday is another game where they've got to go out and play. We've seen Joyce's tweet that it's looking unlikely that it's basically a race against time for Salah, Nunes, and Dom. So that goes to show that the players that are going to play are most likely going to be the players that started on against Luton. It's going to be an interesting game, and I just hope and pray that we manage to get that win, because it's going to be a tough game. I'm not expecting any 3-0 or anything like that. I'll be honest. I think it's going to be a lot closer this time around, and we'll come to our predictions later on.
Always in finals.
Sorry, Sarib?
It always is like that in finals. It's very rare that you see a team just go into a final, and unless you're Man City, it's very rare you see. And they play Watford in finals. They somehow blag Watford in the FA Cup final and win 8-0. But generally speaking, when you play a final, it's normally a 1-0, a 2-1, a very cagey affair. Like the two finals played against Chelsea 2 years ago. It was a very cagey affair. But let's hope we get some goals this time, because I don't want to watch it.
When Liverpool are involved, there are no such thing as easy finals. I remember
I
know. The Birmingham. Was the Birmingham game? The Cardiff game? Kenny Dalglish. We made that into a penalty.
2012.
Asim, have you got the team lineup? So we'll go into our prediction. While Asim does the tech stuff, he's been learning Microsoft Word this week. But please, guys, 172 of you in here. Gene's not going to do it, so I'm going to do it instead for you all. Make sure you guys all like and subscribe. It's very rare that you will see the Fab Four on a Friday night. So the Fab Two, me and Gene. But look, I brought the two boys in. Had to do a lot of groveling considering the week that we've had. But listen, make sure you like and subscribe.
Here we go, guys. This is the end of the show. Thank you very much for watching. Right. Okay.
But can you bring it up, please, sir, so that we can go on the 4? And Sarib, while he does that, what have you made of Chelsea so far this season?
I think it's a bit late. No, Chelsea. Obviously, where they are is obviously not ideal. They've been shit for 2 years, and they've spent a shitload of money, which I wish we spent. Because if Jurgen Klopp was given £1 billion, we would be. I don't know where we'd be, but we'd be a lot. We're first now, so imagine what's better than first. What's better than first? 0 minus 1. What's better than first? That's where we'd be, Avi. But no, Chelsea have been inconsistent. But that's going to happen. You've got a young team. You've got a manager that's inexperienced. Not inexperienced necessarily, but inexperienced with this team. He's a very fresh coach into this league. He's been away from the league for quite a while. But he's working with younger players, and inconsistency will happen. But you can kind of see he's starting to find the formula they're in form. Chelsea as well. They're not playing. They're playing quite well. They're not conceding many goals. They're scoring quite a few goals. So it's been very inconsistent. But you'd expect that from a team that's full of young players. Like Liverpool were like that. Arsenal were like that a couple of years ago. But look at them now. Look at us shine. But I think with Chelsea, it's the time factor.
Can you see the screen? Yeah,
gets the time. We can see the screen, but can you zoom in a little bit? Do you know how to zoom in on your Mac?
Zoom
Control O and plus sign.
He's fancy.
No. I'm not going to risk that, man.
No, control O and plus sign.
It's fine, man. I'm
fine. Fine. What are the people in the comments? Well, if Ali A says yes, you can see that's fine. All right, so we'll go into the team lineups. Each one of us is going to pick a player that we think Klopp's going to go with, not our own prediction. What we think Klopp will go for. It should be straightforward, but I know there'll be some kind of roller involved. So goalkeeper, I think it's safe to say that Adrian will not be playing in the final. I think it's Kelleher. Is that okay? Gene, you're right back for this game.
For Bradley.
Bradley.
What an occasion for him. Bradley. Okay, Sarib, your right centre back.
Ibrahima Konate.
I think that's a foregone conclusion, boys. Anything there?
Yep.
Kwanzaa, maybe. No.
Avi, you were talking about giving the youngsters a chance, maybe. Their competition.
I know you can't play Bradley, Kwanzaa, and Kelleher. I know Kelleher's about 24, 25 now, but Kwanzaa and Bradley on that side of I think you've got to go with Konate.
Of course. I was trying to be honest.
Konate never let us down in the final.
I don't think he's going to be down as Ibu because I think his full name's Asim.
It might be Ibrahim Konate.
Yeah, it's full names. There's no abbreviations.
The man alongside Konate, Gene, any doubt?
No doubt.
El Captain will be centre back. Sarib, you're just spoiling it for others. Your left back for the final, Sarib.
Ooh, this is interesting.
Before we move on there, because we're on the topic of Van Dijk, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I know we're on a starting 11 prediction kind of vibe, but I genuinely think he has been the best player in the Premier League this season. I think he is.
You were just saying probably January. Actually, January. You were saying Saliba was better than him. Make your mind up.
I did not say that.
I've got a clip. Someone got a clip.
What I said was, as a pair, Saliba and Gabriel are the best duo as a centre back in the Premier League.
Better than Konate, Van Dijk.
At the time, that's what I thought. I might be wrong now.
You've changed your mind now.
I never said Saliba is better than Virgil van Dijk. I have never said Saliba is a better centre back than Virgil van Dijk. That Wallahi Ladib, I will touch the holy Quran.
Do you think Saliba is better than Konate? Do you think Saliba is better than Konate?
I have never said that in my life. Do you
think Saliba is better than Konate?
About Saliba, man. Just talk about our left back now.
Do you think Saliba is better than Konate?
Yes, I do. Personally, yes. I do. Personally, yes, I do.
This is what I'm dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I deal with. Your left back, Sarib.
Joe Gomez.
Wow.
Asim?
Wow. I'd go Joe Gomez. Why? Because I thought it worked so well against Chelsea at Anfield. And if you're going to play Bradley really high and wide, you need their winger to come inside so we can sort of get Diaz on the halfway line and running at their right back. If their sort of winger is attracted by Gomez coming inside, then, we've got a lot more space for our, sort of guys who can hurt their defense. And Bradley gets the license and the freedom to roam around in areas where he enjoys himself. So if he's the creator, we need a bit of a balancing act. And Gomez has played that role really, really well. And if we need to chase the game to really go, crazy at Chelsea, if need be, then we've got Robertson off the bench, just like Luton. I thought Robertson did a cracking job off the bench.
If he's playing off the left, Joe Gomez, will he have to track Cole Palmer's movements, Asim? Because we know Cole Palmer's not an out-and-out forward. He won't go on the outside on you, but he will pick up those pocket full of positions on the inside and keep cutting in until he gets that eye of the needle pass. Is it maybe Robertson may be better at pressurizing him, making him mistakes, or are we definitely go with Joe Gomez?
Does Palmer play on their right hand side on paper?
The right, yeah.
On paper, yeah. So
Sterling went left, didn't he, against Kyle Walker on Sunday?
Avi, what you do is with the players like between the lines, you stop it at at the roots where you just prevent that ball coming into him. And you saw at Anfield, when the ball is prevented coming into him, these sort of players need the ball at their feet and they go into really, really deep areas. And then you say, you know what, if you want it there, you can have it there, mate. As long as you don't get it between the lines. And that's when they can hurt you between the lines. Our aggressive press will make sure, and this I wanted to come on to how we're going to play. We're going to be aggressive. Liverpool do not change the way they play. By the way, I'm really finding it difficult because I can't see you guys right now.
We can see you. Don't worry, we can see you.
I feel like I'm talking to myself, and I've got this lineup screen in front of me, but I don't want to change it in case it closes. But yeah, I think the interesting thing for me is how Chelsea play Enzo Fernandez, because whenever I've seen Chelsea play footy this year, I think Enzo Fernandez is too high.
Yeah,
and they have put too much responsibility on Caicedo in the build-up. And I think I read an interesting stat. Chelsea are the top team in terms of spending too much time in their first third of the field, and that shows you they're having build-up problems. Where I don't think Caicedo is good enough to be the footballer and to the controller. Maybe it's just another evidence why McAllister and Caicedo worked so well. One was the sort of guy who eats up space, and the other guy was the footballer. And this time he needs the footballer a lot closer to him. But Pochettino is a catch-21 where he needs Enzo Fernandez in those, final thirds to make those, telling passes. But he also needs him in the deeper areas to control.
Is he slow in defensive transitions, Asim? Because a lot of Chelsea fans have bashed him because he's slow when it comes to the counter-attacks from the opposition.
Who's this?
Enzo Fernandez. A lovely footballer, pleasing to the eye. He's got the protection for Argentina when he's playing alongside McAllister and Rodrigo de Paul, who does the dirty work. Chelsea, he falls short. And it does leave Moises Caicedo. And look, he's not a bad footballer. Moises Caicedo is not a bad footballer. He's a good footballer. And he's really left exposed.
Enzo's a controller. You need him to be receiving the ball, off the centre backs and giving him the bit of the license. But I don't see this point of making him go really high and waiting for the ball. It's like what we've had in recent times where McAllister, when we made him play the Szoboszlai role, he didn't like it because these guys want the ball to feet and he wanted to control the games. So now we're playing effectively a double pivot. So are Chelsea going to do this? Maybe they will do it on the weekend, because on Wednesday when we were so aggressive and we suffocated them, they couldn't cope.
Asim, look, I was thinking about if we should play Robbo. My issue right now that I've got is because on the left-hand side, if we had Jones playing, I'm not going to lie to you, I would go Robbo, right? But because we've got Gravenberch, I think Gravenberch is going to play from that left-hand side. I just think we have to go a bit slightly with a bit more of a conservative left back. That's why I'd probably go Gomez. Because of Gravenberch, he's a player that likes to get forward, get on the ball, and run with it as well. So I would probably go. I'd definitely go with Gomez in this game, Avi, because I think it's more about Gravenberch as well. Because I think he might need the help in there.
Who was superb by the way.
Just playing devil's advocate. If Gravenberch is playing on the left hand side, as we know, we like Diaz sometimes to come inside, and then Curtis Jones or someone else has been going on to hold width. Gravenberch, that's not his game. So do we play more of a conventional left back to make sure Gravenberch is in central areas?
Agreed. And that's a fair point. But the issue that you have is we've got Gravenberch, Robbo, who haven't really played together that much, number one. Number two is I just think we're going to sort of struggle, at least with Joe Gomez. We have a bit more steel in the midfield, even if he has to invert. And we saw how well they played against Chelsea in the previous game, and it worked. So it's a system that sort of worked. That's the reason why I'd have to go Gomez as him. Yes, I know we probably won't get the width, but we've only got two players. We've got Harvey Elliott that's probably going to come inside as well. So I think it's going to be more of what we saw against Luton, where Gakpo and Diaz will see them between the sticks a lot more than we will see Diaz on, let's say, on the touchline.
Moving swiftly on. Yeah,
who are we picking our left back then?
I'm going Joe Gomez as well.
I'm going Gomez as well.
It will be his. I believe it will be his.
Gomez. We're putting Gomez in round, but I'll tell you now, Robertson is playing.
I agree.
You think Robertson is going to play?
I think Robertson doesn't play.
Good shot. I think Gomez deserves to play the final, but obviously you don't get sentimental in finals unless it's a goalkeeper situation. The midfield three, I think it speaks for itself, but I will go with Hendo in the 6, boys.
Endinho starts in midfield, yes.
EDL
Please,
speaks.
please have some respect for the people of Japan, okay? He's not Endinho, is he? He's Hendo, please. Wataru.
Same
the
guy,
6,
same guy who caused the fit when we signed him, by the way. But I'm not going to speak on that too
who,
much.
whoa. You know what the problem? And this is what I was.
Sayonara.
Sayonara is not a bad word. When we signed Hendo, I actually on the eve of when we were linked with him. There's a show that me, you, and Gene did. Sarib. Asim wasn't on that show.
Yeah, you did.
And you know what? Now, because you think that I went against him, I was the only one out of the 3 that was
not
supportive of this player because I said I've done my little research and I've been told from my work colleagues. No, I tell you why. Because you had an absolute rant like you do, like a little kid. You said, "Oh, Caicedo, we were linked with Caicedo for 120 million. We were linked with Lavia, and look what we ended with. We ended with a player, we've never even heard of." And I'm going to clip that. I'm going to clip that after tonight's show.
That's the reality. That's
moving swiftly on.
Now I'm his biggest defender.
Endo, yeah. Wataru Defense League. Endo in the 6. Asim, I think RCM. We're going with McAllister.
Okay.
I'm going James McConnell.
Who?
No, B series. Come on.
I'm joking. I did it for the views.
And Gravenberch on the left. Are we all agreeing with that? Was there a spot for Harvey Elliott here, Gene?
No, who's going to play at the right wing then?
So McAllister's going to be with a space. So
this is going to be the nitty gritty now. If we're going to go by Joyce's news, or if we're going to go by what we think will happen come Sunday. So we're going with the McAllister, Gravenberch, and Endo. And Gravenberch, to be fair, he had a very good cameo against Gene. Remind me, cameo. Brentford, and then I thought he played very well against Luton as well.
Yeah.
And he's getting involved in the duels. He's winning some duels, boys. He's winning some duels.
Is this Kevin McAllister? Can he play for us?
It's not the home loan character. It's Alex.
That's his brother, man.
Alex McAllister. All right, front 3.
Here we go.
Sarib, I'm going to come to you. Your left winger. Just say the name, please.
Yeah,
Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz, I think that's a foregone conclusion. Gene, any objection?
No objection.
Asim?
Oh, no.
Actually, no.
Jaden Dans, maybe Asim for you?
I'm going to throw a spanner in the works.
No. I think Jaden Dans might come on again, Avi, but I don't think he's not starting.
That's a bit of news for you that that Jaden Dans will probably be in the squad then, Asim.
I think so, yeah.
Sarib, you said you had some news?
I'll let us finish our 11 first. Go on.
Right wing. This is it now. This is one of the big calls. Gene, I'm going to go with you.
Harvey Elliott.
It picks itself, Avi. We don't. I think we're just going to get 2 changes.
Asim?
Harvey Elliott.
Sarib?
I'm not going to say anything until you finish the 11.
Asim, I think Salah gives us 50 from the off.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Wow. Are we changing him?
Yeah, this guy. 1 second. He said that. He literally said Nunes was going to start at the start. And
No. I said Nunes. I said no, Gene, you got it wrong. I said Nunes is fit to be in the squad on Sunday. I tweeted that as well. Definitive. I didn't say he's going to be in the starting 11.
Okay, fair play.
He's supposed to be my partner on the show. This is
I'm not putting him in.
I
I think Salah gives us 60 off from the off.
Oh, honestly, Salah looks nice in that lineup, man. It's been a while.
You're living on cloud cuckoo if you think Salah starting this game. Yeah.
I'll put him in. I might leave him in.
Something about that Egyptian
Man.
being fit when it really, really matters. And I'm not talking about the African nation because people say, oh, well, he wasn't fit for Egypt. I think he gives us 60.
Bench max. You're living in cuckoo, man. Cloud cuckoo.
Sarib?
Can I say my whole attack? Because if I say it together, it's going to make sense to you. It's going to make a lot of sense. So you've put Luis Diaz on the left, and you've put, from what I'm looking at, you've got a front three of Diaz, Nunes, and Salah.
Yeah.
Nunes.
What I think Klopp will do is I think Luis Diaz is going to play off the right. Nunes and Gakpo are going to interchange from the left and central. So I think we're going to play a front three of Nunes, Gakpo, and Luis Diaz in the final of the league.
Okay.
With Harvey Elliott and Mo Salah on the bench.
Can I give you my striker, Asim? I don't know why you're putting strikers on my show.
Okay. Who's your striker? Who's your striker?
I'm going Diaz, Gakpo gives us 70, and Salah gives us 60, and then we'll make changes as we see fit.
So that's your front three then, yeah?
Yeah.
We're
Gina,
throwing it back to
Gina, I
Asim.
can see your face and disgust. Please comment. No, please comment now.
I think it's just Salah starting and just you're living in cloud cuckoo.
So you've gone with Elliot. So
Yeah, it starts. There's
these
no.
what these what I think.
Come on.
Let's go with a general consensus then. So let's put Elliot instead of Salah. Let's be fair. No, let's be fair. Let's put Elliot in front of Salah.
Why has Bellingham come up?
Oh, Jude Bellingham, take him off. Take him off. Take him off.
Why did he come up?
It's the algorithms, I think, Asim. And
Again.
do you know what's your forward three? The three that we see there.
There we are.
No, sorry.
Harvey Elliott starts. Yeah, that's the team. Where you guys are getting that Salah and Joyce is literally come out half an hour ago saying it's a race to be fit to make the squad. You've got him starting. You're like, come on, boys. This is like me saying, you know what? Thiago's starting tomorrow. Yeah, we know he's not going to start.
Please.
No, come on, Gene, that's a bit different.
No, yeah, because Asim, Joyce has come out 20 minutes ago and said it's a race against us to be fit to even make like the squad.
Avi, can I quit this now? Can I quit this lineup now?
Yeah, can you zoom in a little bit on it though?
Zoom in.
Or push it up a little bit so we can see everyone. Maybe see Keller's hairline from here. Yeah, that's fine. And pay your TV license. I saw some TV license advertisements. As in, please, it's running out. So are we okay? Sarib, would that be a more general consensus front three?
I think that's the one that everyone thinks. I think that's the most likely. Like, if you ask 10 people, this will probably be the team. But I'm going to be edgy, and I'm going to say it's going to be Nunez, Diaz, and Gakpo.
There we are.
Diaz on the right.
I missed you guys, man. Bloody hell. I forgot how you look like.
Well, we've gone with what we think the team will go through. Harvey Elliott, though, Gene, what is it about him in second halves? Performs every single time when it comes to second half. What is it?
Every time he's come on this season, he's been amazing. Every time he's had an impact on every single game that he's come on. I think there's only one game where I felt he came on and he didn't do anything. I think that was against, was it City, where I felt, Arsenal, where the subs were just, I felt as though they didn't make any sort of impact. But generally speaking, he's been brilliant. The issue has been where he's actually started games, he hasn't actually performed to the levels that he's shown when he's come off the bench. But look, this half on against Luton in the first half, I didn't think he was great, but he played an unbelievable pass to Diaz when Diaz came inside and shot wide. Reggie Diaz should have scored. And he does possess, he's a quality player, and there's no doubt that there's a quality player in there. Do we like him in the front three? No, I think he plays a lot better when he's in the midfield, but he's done a decent job. Right now, there's nobody else that can fill the void in that position. And then whenever he's played in the second half and he's come on, he's made an impact. We just have to hope that he makes an impact. Because second half against Luton, Harvey Elliott was arguably one of our best players. Every time he received the ball, he was direct. His passing was brilliant. He was up and down, and he didn't carry the team, but in terms of he carried the team forward at every instance he got, and that's a big thing. He's somebody that's taken onus upon himself to make play, to make something happen, and you've got to give the lad a lot of credit. I really, really hope that I'm pretty 99.9% sure that he's going to start, and I hope he puts in a performance from start to finish this time in such a huge game for us, because there is definitely a player in there. Yes, he probably doesn't start in our first 11, but he's a brilliant player to have in the squad.
Asim, is it the fact second half that the spaces open up, the half spaces get wider, he gets a little bit more time on the ball, the opposition tire? There must be something that we can pinpoint, and you probably are the best person to describe why he flourishes in the last sort of 30 or 35 minutes of the game. Because when he plays second half, whether it's coming on or whether he's starting and first half doesn't go for him, second half he comes alive. What is it? Because he's assisting or he's scoring a goal, isn't he?
Avi, I think it's about roles. When he starts, it depends who's playing with him. If Salah's playing and Trent is playing, again, it's a balancing act, making sure those guys get a bit of space. He provides an option between the lines. if he starts, does he, especially on the big day, does he lack a bit of physicality, natural physicality? Yes. If you got Curtis Jones on the left-hand side and Harvey Elliott, are Liverpool a bit too much possession-based, control-based type of team? Do you need them to sort of take a few more risks? Yes, that's the case as well. So it's, it's a combination of things, isn't it? And then you're right. He is a guy who keeps things ticking. And when we're chasing games, he can come, he can sort of harass teams. And when we sort of harassing, hunting packs, he sometimes leads that initiates those, pressing triggers. So we have to remember he's only 20, Avi. I've said that I don't think Harvey Elliott probably breaks into this team, Jurgen Klopp team, where I don't think he carries that natural physicality in midfield or turn into like a Bernardo Silva type of player. And he's not a Mohamed Salah. Nobody's a Mohamed Salah, but he can't even play that type of role because he doesn't go on the outside, because he doesn't possess the natural pace. If he doesn't have the pace now, I don't think he'll ever have the pace. He's just not that type of player, where he's a lot more technical in the half spaces. But we have a role for him, and just like we've seen shown this season, that he's a player who we can bring on, and he's got quality where he can keep things ticking over, and he has heart. And if you've got heart and you've got quality, then it's a pretty good combination to have. But talking of possession-based teams and possession-based styles, just going into the final in terms of Kwanzaa and all these young players, and it applies to Harvey Elliott as well, where, Pep Linders mentioned a bit of a Cruyffian term, a statement saying every disadvantage creates an advantage. And I think Harvey Elliott can relate to that, where if you don't have Mo Salah and these guys, it's an opportunity for him to create a few headlines and really etch his name early into his career in Liverpool's history.
I have a question for the three of you. With Harvey Elliott playing as a right winger, because I think that's what will happen. I think the general basis and consensus is that Harvey Elliott will start as a right winger. But you look at Chelsea's fullbacks that normally play there, the likes of Chilwell, the likes of Levi Colwill, they're not blessed with ridiculous pace. And one of the things one of the issues that we have with Harvey Elliott is that he can't go on the outside. But maybe a game like this, where the fullback is not as quick as a Robertson or a Kyle Walker.
I think Chilwell is. I think he's quick.
I don't.
I know he's had the ACL, but I think he's fairly quick. Not quick like a Marlo Gusto on the other side. But I
think if Elliott was against Gusto, I think it's a no-brainer that Elliott will simply not be able to go on the outside. But I think he's got.
But do we want him to go on the outside on Sunday though? That's not his position.
Our attack, and I mentioned in one of the shows that it's crazy how we've become not reliant, but how sort of our game has become focused on Conor Bradley's
Bradley.
Since Trent has gone and he's a deep line creator. If Szoboszlai is not playing, then McAllister has to be in those areas. If Hendo's playing as well, then we have to provide width. If Salah's not there, if Szoboszlai is not there, then Conor Bradley is the only guy who's going to make it. And this is one of the reasons why he came off after about 60 minutes on Wednesday night, because we need to make sure that lad is going to provide the width, he's going to provide the energy, and he's going to be the focus point of our attack. And if he's going to be providing width and he's really in high positions, then Harvey Elliott is in those spaces where he likes to be, and that's where he can hurt the opposition as well. And if you've got them interchanging, it's only good news for Liverpool.
And how quick, Gene, is Bradley? Because we need to pin Chilwell back as well, because Chilwell will run that channel. How important is it that Elliott does come in the half spaces, which leaves that open wide space, like we saw against the Chelsea in the league game, where his goal actually effectively came from the right-hand side? How important is it that Bradley does get that space and he pings Ben Chilwell back on the other side?
Look, this is why I think all four of us have started Gomez. I've wanted Gomez to start because, number one, it gives pure license for Bradley to basically kick on that right-hand side where he's up and down and he can play predominantly as a run, not exactly a right winger, but he's an attacking threat every single time, because playing Gomez allows you that, and we saw that in the first game. Sorry, we saw that in the last game against Chelsea, where Bradley was so far forward that he was actually pinning their left back or their left winger so high that there was always an opportunity to go at him, and especially on the counter. When we're on the counter and he's so high up, he's got the pace, the ability to get forward very, very quickly. And look, he's a threat. He's a proper footballer from what we've seen. And he right now, he is, and Asim has just mentioned, he's the focal point of our attack because he offers us so much. And look, I honestly, we are blessed to have two fullbacks by the name of Trent and Conor Bradley, because Conor Bradley is going to be a special footballer, and he's pivotal on come Sunday. He's pivotal.
I agree with that. Sarib, Harvey Elliott reminds me of you a little bit.
Ooh.
Young, passionate, loves the club, and I know you get.
Is that why you always? Is that why you always having to go at him then?
No. And honestly, something that I love about Harvey Elliott, and you know, look, he's making me eat my words all season. Pretty much 85% of the season this season, I'm eating my words because of Harvey Elliott. I've had doubts and whatnot, but I loved his reaction. I think when Diaz scored, he didn't go straight to the players. He hugged I think it was the marshals. What would you call them in England? The patrollers?
Stewards.
He hugs the female steward, and then he hugs the male steward, and then he goes to the players. He's a fan, isn't he? He's just enjoying himself playing for this football club. Whether he gets 5 minutes, whether he gets a 5-minute cameo, whether he's a sub, or whether he starts, he's just enjoying playing for this football club.
Yeah, and like you say, like every time this guy comes on the pitch, he gives his all, regardless if he plays poor, bad. We can never sit here and criticize the effort that Harvey Elliott puts in. People may criticize his performances, he's not up to scratch. But one thing that kid does have, and he is younger than me, so I can't call him a kiddo, like you lot call me. He gives, he leaves his heart on the pitch. Like he wears his heart on his sleeve. He gives his all for this football club. He's a boyhood Liverpool fan. He grew up as a Liverpool fan. This is his club, and he's living our dream. And it's so beautiful to see a Liverpool fan playing for this football club at such a high level. He's going to start his first ever final in his career, I believe. He's going to play at Wembley for the first time in his career as well. It's just going to be a monumental day for him, and I'm so proud of him, because look at the players that are coming through. The likes of Jones, we've got Elliot, who's a Liverpool fan, Alexander-Arnold, Jarrell Kwanzaa. We've got so many of these guys that just know what it means to play for this football club. And Elliot is no different. Yeah, he might not have come from Liverpool's academy. Yeah, he might not be from Liverpool, but he gives his all, and he's one of us.
Yeah,
and that's
he gets it, and that's the word. He actually gets it, what it means to play for this football club. And you know, another thing that I've realized with Elliot, whenever he plays, he's always the last player to come off the pitch. He's always the last player. He will always clap all sides of the pitch. And you know what? You've got to, and like Sarib said it, you know, he understands this football club because he's loved the club from a young age. He's a boyhood Liverpool fan.
He savors every moment.
Yeah. And he's still only 20, and I know you guys have alluded to it a few times. There was doubts about Curtis Jones 3 years ago. We were all not you, Avi. I know you're gonna smile and enjoy this one, but you know, there was doubts. There was a lot of fans, including me, that had doubts about Curtis Jones, not ability-wise, but if he could cut it at Liverpool football
application club, and temperament. Yeah. No, I get it.
And he proved us wrong, and now he's probably one of the first names on the team sheet. Who's to say in 2 years' time, Harvey Elliott isn't one of the first 2-3 names on the team sheet? Yes, we played right now. We're playing the Klopp system, and yet it seems as though it's a bit difficult for him. In 2 years' time, Xabi Alonso, he might be one of the players that actually benefit from it, because when we changed the system, players like Robbo and Thiago didn't benefit. But with a new manager coming in, obviously we know it's a slightly different system. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. He might be a player that benefits. So, you know, hats off to him, and you've got to give the kid a lot of credit.
Asim, let's go with it. And there's only 2 more topics I want to mention, but score and prediction. Sunday, what's happening?
Score prediction. I do think the game's going to be mad. It always is. Even those 0-0s, they weren't dull affairs. They weren't dull affairs. I think we see a 3-2 Liverpool on Sunday.
90th minute winner.
Oh my God.
Someone mentioned in the comments that we're a club of destiny. We're a club of heart attacks as well. It's part of the roller coaster. It's part of the journey. We win 3-2 on Sunday.
And Avi, it gives us another opportunity to knock Man United off their perch, because they are the holders of that Red Bull Cup. It's time for us to take that energy drink.
What Red Bull Cup?
Carabao Cup. The fake Red Bull. Have you had a Carabao Cup? Have you had a Carabao before? It's exactly like Red Bull. That's it.
Some mad shouts before I come to you, Gina. Gomez will score the winner. Karma, Arib. Bloody hell, those. Yusuf Hussein. Gomez winner, lads. I can feel it in my ear today. Sullivan smashing with Darwin start. Look, there's always one in it. There's always one in it. There's always one tabla. We won't win. That's fine. We got the most cup winners in the thingy. 2-1. Gene, score prediction.
2-0 Liverpool.
Oh, you gone for me? That's what I've gone for. I've gone for 2-0 as well.
Come on.
And I'll say my prediction. I've gone for 2-0, and I think Luis Diaz gets the man of the match award again.
Oh, wow. God. What?
I take that right now.
4-2s, some 2-1s. Chelsea won't score 2-0. I think 2-0 as well. Bob Podak, that'd be a brilliant result. 4-0. Diaz, McHarvey all score goals. Drunk, are you ever sober, Virgo? Can we have sober Vigo or whatever?
2-1 Liverpool, Gakpo and Endo.
Asim, whatever. We are the most winners. Lads, we're bagging at least 4. Gene, Sarib, your prediction.
Arsenal 1-0.
I was gonna ask Sarib, can I get a prediction for Arsenal and Newcastle tomorrow? That's the early.
I don't care about Arsenal.
And maybe for the second leg against Porto as well.
Sorry, were you down on Wednesday?
Explains the blue as well.
I'm gonna go with 2-1 to Liverpool. I'm so confident that we are gonna win this game that if we don't win this game, I will go and buy a Chelsea shirt, sit on this show, and do a show in a Chelsea shirt. I am that confident that we are going to beat those London Blues. I will sit on the show in a Chelsea shirt. I will do a show in a Chelsea shirt.
You can do that. You know, Jenna, hold on. You can do that, but don't buy a fully priced Chelsea shirt. Just get the one off the knockoff on DH. HGate is a great website for that.
He's buying a half and half scarf. He's buying half and half scarf and a Chelsea top.
See, he's already halfway there, Avi.
He jinxed us. Customer jinxed us.
There you go, man.
You know what you need to wear? What you need to wear, Sarib, is what's hanging behind you.
I'm wearing it on Sunday.
That is enough. Just that is enough.
DH you'll be waiting 2 months. That's a brilliant one.
Wear that top. That's enough, please.
Oh, he's done us. They don't like
us.
He's done us. Guys, okay. Just a quick comment. Jeanette, comment from Singh G. Favorite domestic cup win over the years for me, Arsenal FA Cup 2001, getting battered and robbing it late. Your favorite memory of any domestic cup? Jeanette, not European Cup, domestic cup.
Domestic cup, beating Man United, Millennium Stadium, Steven.
2003. Yeah. Michael Owen, Roy Keane. Couldn't catch up. My quick one is going to be one of the first trophies I saw us win. Steve McManaman's double against Bob 2-1. So that was my first memory, and I think that still holds. Although I do remember the 92 Cup final against Sunderland where Michael Thomas scored a beauty, but very little. Very little. FA Cup. Yeah, no, domestic cup.
Oh, you talking about sorry, I thought you talked about just League Cup. Come on. Steven Gerrard, West Ham
final, yeah. But for me, it's the earliest memory. That is, yeah.
Wow. Well, you mentioned them all, but I think last year there was about 10 lads who went. Not last year, the year before, for the Carabao Cup, and just for that experiencing with the lads, for me that was one of the best.
Sarib's going to say.
Oh yeah,
Sarib's going to say Cantona against Liverpool '96. Sarib, your favorite domestic cup final memory? I mean, you're only about 12 years old, so it must be school.
I watched the 2012. I watched the 2012 League Cup final. I watched the 2016 League Cup final. That wasn't great. I will have to say, obviously, in the last couple of years, I'd have to say that the 2022 the League Cup final, just because it was funny as well, because we scored all our penalties, Chelsea scored all theirs. Then Kepa comes on for the penalty shootout. Then he doesn't save any, and then he misses his, and then we win. That was really funny. I'm gonna have to say that because not much. I don't have much to pick from, do I, Avido? I don't have
Coca-Cola final. Wow.
I tell you what I liked about that's actually a good pick because Kepa was giving it a Larry Lardo, wasn't it? Look at Van Dijk's penalty, and he looked. Van Dijk gave him a look and said, "Who do you think you are, mate? I've gone the same way that you went, but I'm here with power." But
really
Kelleher to win that.
I was watching it with my cousin as always, a Chelsea fan. It was quite funny.
That was great. Yeah, it was the Coca-Cola Cup final, 95 versus the McManaman final. Brilliant.
You know what? I know what we're going to see, Avi. I think we're going to see a McAllister absolute masterclass on Sunday.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's become probably our most important player right now.
Klopp's brain on the pitch, pretty much.
There you
Klopp's
go.
move, actually, if you want
On
to say
that big pitch, honestly, I think he's.
my player, man, my Argentinian warrior, man.
I'm just getting
Listen,
myself.
I think
yeah.
he's won a trophy there as well. I think he played in the game against Italy, the Finalissima in 2021, was it? 21? I'm sure it was 2021. The Euros, the Copa America winners. Argentina.
Well, he's done everything in the international level, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Just a quick Prague, boys. It is Sparta Prague. I'm not sure if you guys have been, but I've definitely I've been Prague on a stag, and it's a great town, great city. Plenty of fun there. Asim, Jean, will you be making that trip to Prague? It's actually pronounced Praha, by the way, not Prague. Praha.
Oh, yeah, Praha. I've been. It's nice. It's a nice city, but I don't think I'll be making this trip this time around.
The women are quite handy as well. But yeah, anyway, Asim, will you be making the trip to Prague?
I don't think I'm making the trip. Apparently, it's a really small allocation as well.
I tell you what, I tell you what, a little secret. They do the best doner kebabs out in Praha.
It's probably not halal, mate.
A Bangladeshi guy, and now I won't even know the name, but I've got it on my pics on my old hard drive. This is going back 2000.
It looks like you just spent the weekend.
They do a brilliant doner kebab. It's a Bangladeshi guy. He had a little hut, doner kebab, amazing, lamb and chicken with all the sauces. Oh, kana swana.
Nugget doner, they call it, no?
Sarib, I think Praha is. I'm too old for that now, but I think it's a great trip for you. Have a bit of fun. No. Doesn't appeal to you?
No, mate.
But what do you think, guys? Should be an easy home and away leg, isn't it? Finish them off. Have you got them home or away? Is it first?
Away first.
We're away.
We're away first.
Get away with that.
It's 3 days before.
You do know it's 3 days before Man City.
Yeah.
I'd rest a fair few then.
I would.
I wouldn't go full talk against Prague.
Just even if you lose 1-0, it doesn't matter. Bring them.
Second, yeah.
Is it one of those stadiums where they have like the flares and that?
That's the grave. That's the grave.
Hard drive.
What
What did you say?
People check his hard drive.
his hard drive.
They got Diaz and stuff on there.
So the grave is where they do the flares and they walk through the tunnel. But Praha, it's still going to be a little bit intimidating. But look like Albert Boafo. Albert Boafo, man, we need to get you on the phone in.
Oh,
He's a funny fellow, this Albert Boafo.
he came on. He came on.
Tomorrow, unless these boys are feeling lazy, but yeah, tomorrow, a beautiful city though. Wenceslas Square, amazing. Check the USB sticks. Bob Hodak 19K. So it'll be a little bit intimidating. It'll be quite thinky. Won't comment on Suleiman. Bailey 19. Avi, let's see your home screen. Is it Lucho? It's not actually Lucho. It's actually Mohamed Salah. It's actually Mohamed Salah. There you go. Mohamed Salah.
He's got some brain cells in there.
Yeah, exactly. So Praha's done. Last 3 comments, boys. Luciano Scapati. It wouldn't be a day at Born and Red if we don't mention a big shout out to Xabi Alonso and Leverkusen earlier, by the way. Today they've actually beaten the record. First full season. Asim, just a quick one on Xabi Alonso, the accomplishment. They should see off the league. Now 11 points clear. I know Bayern are away to RB Leipzig tomorrow. This league could be wrapped up sooner than later, right? So that he can concentrate on the Pokal and the Europa League.
Yeah. Avi, everything that he's achieving, even in a small sample size, is absolutely brilliant. For the last month or so, I've really dived deep into what Xabi Alonso is about, his ideas, his principles, his philosophies. But I did read that last year, even when he recovered Leverkusen, you'll know better than me, that in the last 7 or 8 games, he won 2 games only. Ooh. So there was a bit of a dip. So hopefully it doesn't come this season. But he's got better players. He knows his players, and let's hope they get over the line.
Gene, just the way they're playing football, they're scoring free-flowing goals, isn't it?
Forget everything. Everybody else, just make sure we get Xabi Alonso. That's all I care about. I don't want.
Asim, without Victor Boniface for the last 5-6 weeks, they've been winning games. Played Bayern off the park without their talisman up top, so it's been great. Yeah.
And Avi, he beat Bayern by not playing the Xabi Alonso football that we've seen that he's been playing this year. He even mentioned it in his interview, didn't he? That we made sure that we hurt them in the areas where probably allowed them a bit more possession, and then really smothered them in that way. And that shows you that his adaptability. He just doesn't have one trick. He's not a one-trick pony. And if he's thinking on that level and those are big days and absolutely sort of producing it with those sort of players, then honestly, it just holds him in good stead. And like Gene says, let's just hope we get the standout candidate. And it's not my words, it's Klopp's words.
Adaptability, flexibility, ability in general. Sarib, Jabi Alonso, I think you were in and around Liverpool fan when you saw glimpses of him as a Liverpool player, but is he impressing you as a manager too?
Yeah, and it's not even just his performances. The way people speak about him is with such class. And on top of that, some of the managers that he's been under, Rafa Benitez, Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, there's more in there somewhere. I can't think. Carlo Ancelotti. He's been under some of the best coaches to ever coach in the game. His football intelligence, his football brain is a mixture of all of those in one. And you can clearly see his ideas are being on the pitch. This is his second full season, I think, in proper one of the top leagues. He was at Real Sociedad B, then he was at Leverkusen last season. Now he's in a title race. He's taken Leverkusen from 16th to 1st in the span of 18 months, Avi. If that's not a sign of a top class coach, I don't know what is. He's going to stop the 11, 12 year, 10 year, whatever it is, dominance in German football. He has gone to a one-team league and made it his own. And for that alone, hats off, Mr. Alonso, to you. Hats off.
Up to Granit Xhaka, by the way.
Yeah, what a signing he's been.
His celebration today was absolutely gold. Because the guy, the what do you call him, the treatment table, the doctor, the physios, they were about to run onto the pitch. And David Alonso was, wait a minute, come here, he's fucking joking. And it was a joke, but what a strike. He's been brilliant in that pivot with Ondrej and obviously Frimpong, Grimaldo, and all the rest of them at Leverkusen. But yeah, it looks as if they're on the cusp. And they could go on to do an unprecedented treble. Let's just hope that we don't meet them in any tie semi or final.
I mean, you think he plays the system that he's playing at the moment at Liverpool?
No, I think he shows his flexibility and shows his sort of muscle next season. Yeah. I think there's so many variables and I credit the coaches that he's worked under, and even big up to Aguilar of Sociedad. He's been there for a long time. He's a bit of a wizard as well. Recognition, and he was working underneath him at Sociedad B. But I think there's so many variables, Asim, and I think you need that as a great coach. Pep Guardiola, we've seen he's come a long way from the Barca days, from Barca B, then to Bayern, then now to Man City. I think with Jabi Alonso, we'll see another evolution in his play. And what is he, 41, 42? It only bodes well for his career. Few comments here. One from Bashi. Abby the blue chip, I've grown to love you, bro. Fucking must have hated you.
Abby, before you go,
let me read the comments. Let me read the comments now. Rest of the Bonin crew, I already loved you. Let's smash Chelsea on Sunday. Smash the likes. But I don't know why people don't like me. I really don't. I don't get it at all. Must be something that I need to do. Yusuf Hussein, you know what I mean? Yusuf Hussein, you know. No relation to Nasser Hussein, who's my friend, by the way, England captain.
Is this your burner? Is this your burner?
All I'm saying is these are the best show going. Avi and Gene are the
no
best.
No profile picture from Yusuf.
You know, we're the only deal on this channel.
Yes.
But, your record numbers came tonight, boys. Just like I'm gonna remind you all week, your record numbers on Friday night came today.
I wish I could tell the legitimate reasons.
He says this is their channel. They do all the work. But who bailed out last minute again? Was it me or was it Avi?
And I want to listen.
No, we're not going to get into that because that's
before I leave,
Avi did a Rashford.
I was out partying, so with the bottle in my hand. But listen, guys, make sure you guys have liked and subscribed, please. We are on our way to 10K, 15K, 20K. Let's see where this channel takes us. We do this for fun. We give you guys, whatever you lot want, content. You give us some suggestions. We'll put it up on the comments and whatnot. It's been a great show. Sarib, thank you once again for holding the fort on Wednesday. You're a great little kid, by the way. I do have a lot of love for you. Even though we go back and forth on the Diaz stuff, but you're good. And I think you could do these post matches straight after kickoff, straight after full time on your own. I think you hold it up well. Asim, as always, a pleasure to have you on my Friday show. I think this is the last time that I'll have you on. Thanks for the numbers. Thanks for the numbers. Me and Gene will go back to the deal. Gene, as always, you're such a great host, Gene. And I wish I could say, I wish I could say, I'm going to let you close out the show but you won't have a clue on how to close out.
I'm a team player. Do you understand?
One more comment. People hate Avi on Twitter, IG. They watch you on YouTube and they love him. Great show as always. Let's get this one on Sunday. And guys,
we say we're coming on, and we come on and deliver. That's what we do. ENR.
talking of delivering, a bit like the milkman, are you delivering tomorrow? Are you phoning or not?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm there. I'm there. I've even changed my shift. I've even changed my shift so I can do the show at 10
we are doing it. We're doing it.
on the door.
Time, Asim?
What time do you finish work?
9 o'clock.
Do you finish work 9 o'clock?
Change my shift. I
Time
changed my shift.
out between them, man.
Look at that.
How do you do it? How do you do it?
That's what you call.
That's
That's
what my
what
shift
you call doing the grind. Sarib, mania, mani gaya.
Okay, money giver, please don't go for 3 hours tomorrow. Please get up there, Buster. Please do
I
2
will-
hours and
Go for 4.
keep it compact. Keep it compact like Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen.
That's not our
anyway,
show,
you
Avi.
You
It's
need to be
the
up early
people's
for the
show.
final anyway,
It's the
Asim, don't you? You
people's
got a long
show.
drive to London, don't you? Got a long drive to London, innit? Anyway.
Hmm?
You got a long drive on Sunday as well, innit? Don't you?
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. Reeb goes Sarib is being as Elliot.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
He lives in the second part of the show. But guys, this has been Born and Red. Thank you so much once again. Make sure you like and subscribe on your way out. We shall see you as a team again on possibly Sunday, but probably Monday.
Probably Monday, yeah.
Me and Sarib might do Sunday, but these two will be back Saturday. I may come in for 5-10 minutes tomorrow. I'm not sure, depending on how I feel.
If we let you in, we'll change the password for tomorrow.
But this has been Born and Red, guys. Thank you so much, and we shall see you on the weekend.
Take it, guys.